You can say peace out as well, man.
Oh, I don't know. I'm in the video. You cut me out. You cut me out for this because I'm just sitting there like a fucking plum.
Alright, man. Catch you there, yeah?
Make sure you cut me out in that last bit.
Now I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna zoom into your
No,
face.
no, no. I'm just literally sitting there like.
Thanks a lot for jumping on, man. This is the section of my pickups that is going to be a part of Resident Evil. I wanted to go through the games that I picked up. The idea is that I've gone for the most recent remakes so that I can get the best experience of the entire franchise. But being me and my OCD, I need to get the full set of like the series that were ever released. So this list I got over here in front of you is
Yep.
from Wikipedia, the history of the timeline. From 96 to 2021, you've got how many games there? That's more than 20 games, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But a bunch of them are remakes as well. But you've also got a lot of Resident Evil that were released on the PS2 that were actually forms of on-rail shooters as well. So I got a bunch of those.
Yeah.
But I want to quickly just go through the main timeline first of the games that I picked up. So I'll just go
So
through
yeah.
them.
So are you doing timeline of release dates?
I'm
Because the timeline of the actual story for Resident Evil is just madness. It's so crazy. It's really hard to follow.
Oh no, I'm gonna go with the release order, and I'm gonna sort of play it in in that order. If
Yeah. Yeah.
that's probably the best way to do it. But by doing that, it means that I'm gonna um, also try and play the spin-offs, maybe when they came out, or maybe after, or in between. But they don't really matter because they're not part of the story, mainline story. I don't think.
Yeah, they're not part of the mainline story. To be honest, like the storyline just goes a bit crazy after Resident Evil 3. I think it goes a bit mad. The one spin-off that is really good and I think really important is probably Code Veronica.
Yeah, people always talk about that one being like really the one that they hoped that they will make a remake of, but they never did
Yeah.
it. So, even like, for example, I picked up this as well as part of the full set.
So what's that? That's the
This is the
you bought the
movies.
films?
Look, it's a nice
Yeah.
slipcover, and it's
I
got
mean,
every single movie. I think they've
yeah.
got includes 6 films, the complete collection. This came from the States, right? And it was, I think it was £14.
Hmm.
So a really cool bundle to get all the films there. But that's because I was on the Resident Evil hype. I just wanted to get those films.
Yeah.
I've seen some of them in the past, but some of the
Yeah,
newer ones I haven't seen. They're not the best, right? But
yeah, I mean, it's a good action movie. They
exactly,
do vaguely, roughly follow the storyline and the premise of Resident Evil.
yeah.
And so, in that sense, they've done, they've done what they could. It's always going to be quite difficult to turn into a movie if you're going to make it into like an action-based sort of franchise.
Hmm.
Whereas I think personally, Resident Evil is more like like the games are suspense, horror, puzzles, and stuff like that. I think they started off very much sort of that tone of The Last of Us sort of style, where the zombies are few and far between, but they're really scary when you see them,
Hmm.
and quite difficult to kill.
Okay. Um, let's go for the games that you should recognize, right? So
Yeah, sure.
I got Resident Evil Origins Collection.
Yeah.
This is the original Resident Evil remake that came out on the GameCube. They
Yeah.
remastered it and then they ported it over for the modern systems. And I've also got Resident Evil Zero, which is the prequel of Resident Evil,
Yeah. Yeah.
on this one collection. Which one would you recommend playing first?
Um, I would say Resident Evil 1, or the first one.
Yeah.
Um, the reason being is because I think we spoke about this earlier. Um, it's when they first made the game, they they didn't think that it was going to be such a huge franchise. It was a brand new IP. So on a brand new IP back then, when the PS1 was sort of PS1 days, you didn't want to pump all your money into a franchise, beginning of a franchise. So I think they made the game really short.
Hmm.
It's a game where you can sort of get used to the style of Resident Evil. Back then, it was. I think on the newer games, the analog stick you can just direction whichever way. But back then, when I played it on the PS1, up was always forward. It was quite difficult when a zombie comes and you're panicking a bit, and you
He's like,
think
and he's like looking
whichever
up.
direction, yeah.
That's
So
messed up.
up is always whichever direction he's facing. Up is always forward. So it takes a bit of time getting used to.
So
But
wait,
like,
did they fix that on this one? They got modern
well,
controls, right?
yeah. On the new ones, on the GameCube, I remember.
Yeah, so this is the game. This is the
They fixed
GameCube
that. Yeah, yeah,
port. So this should be the new one. I don't really want to play the PS1 versions of those games because I know they're going to be that N64 sort of control stick mechanism where the joystick is your direction as well as your. Well, there is no two
yeah.
joysticks, is
Well,
there? They don't do
there
that.
wasn't joysticks back then. It was just because on the PS1, obviously, came out. There was no analog DualShock.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was the D-pad and the buttons.
Mm.
And I really enjoyed it because I think part of the experience of the game was that difficult control. Because
Mm.
when there's no zombies, it's okay. The controls are fine. It's just when you start getting zombies, you start panicking. You're trying to find the right direction. And I think to an extent, in a real world sort of scenario, you would also start panicking,
Mm.
and you wouldn't like sort of know what to do, and every, basic things that you would do would become harder, and which is what happens with the controls. But again, after a while, you sort of get used to it. But obviously, they fixed that on when they did the remakes, and I think from Resident Evil 4 onwards, really.
Okay.
But I would say play Resident Evil 1 first because that's the first one that came out, and it has a lot of sort of introductions to a lot of the gameplay and a lot of the creatures and zombies and whatnot. And then yeah, definitely. And then I'd say yeah, play Zero.
Cool.
And the first one isn't that long, so you'll be
That's
able to get through it.
that's always a plus for me, man. I prefer shorter games. That's why I like the Resident Evil 3 remake. Apparently, it's meant to be less than 6 hours or 5 hours. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah,
So Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 remakes. This one's got like won a bunch of awards. Resident Evil 3 is like the one with the Nemesis.
yeah,
Um, Resident Evil 2, really looking forward to playing that one. This is the one that I really wanted to play. That's what sort of got me into
yeah,
Resident Evil like all over again because I've always seen it around, but I've never gone into the franchise. But this is the one that started off this sort of this idea of let me get the entire full set and then start playing it on the Sony platform one by one.
yeah. I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised you're playing it now, because it's been such a good franchise,
Yeah.
for all these years, and but it's good. I feel a bit not jealous, but as in
Yeah, you, you
you
you envy the fact that
because
I'm get to experiencing it for the first time, and you wish you can experience
yeah,
it for the
yeah,
first
yeah,
time because you've
exactly,
played it so many times. Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I was
So
going to
it's
say. The fact that you played the original Resident Evil 2 on the PS1, right? Would you say that when you played this, you sort of felt like you were repeating yourself, and you wish you didn't play it before? Like,
nah. I think on when I played Resident Evil 2 back then, it was like such a new sort of concept because it was two discs and it was two different characters, and you played two different perspectives.
mm,
So it was like wow. Back then it blew me away. You playing this even now, might blow you away. But this one compared to the one I played on the PlayStation 1 still has a few different things, and a few different surprises. And
okay, so they changed up a little bit.
they've changed it up a little bit. It's still such a good game, such a good game. And because I played it so long ago, it still felt quite fresh to me because obviously I've forgotten all the
The,
puzzles and
the
what
little
happens in the
details,
police
yeah.
station and yeah, etc. All the little details. So it was good because you reminisce, but then it's like you're playing it all over again.
Mm. So you definitely felt like you're getting a sort of a new AAA experience, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even though I had it, I've got it as well. So
Mm.
awesome game. The sound, the score, it's really really good.
Music. So yeah, I picked that up, and I also got like this little bundle, digital bundle for like £2 on the PlayStation Store, which allows you to
Okay.
unlock all of the different modes, like the harder modes, as well as
Yeah.
I think it was like I think you get some point system or classic weapons and classic outfits, stuff like that. It's
Yeah, you
like
can
a
change. Yeah, you
because
can
it
change
was
the
cheap,
music.
because it
You
was
can
cheap
change.
and it finishes the game off rather than unlocking it
Yeah,
within the game. I just thought I'd pick it up so it has it all unlocked on there as well. Because I'm going to be playing probably the easy mode, um, maybe normal, but we'll see. Um,
play normal mode. Play normal mode.
I don't like punishment.
Easy is too easy. Nah.
uh,
It's especially with the new controls. It's not going to be too
yeah.
difficult.
What do you think of Resident Evil 3 remake? Have you played that
Um,
yet?
I have only played a couple of hours of that. Again, I think Resident Evil 3 is a bit short for my liking.
Yeah.
Maybe because I don't remember completing it so quick
Hmm.
back when I played it. But I feel it's a bit shorter than which you like,
That Nemesis
obviously.
guy
But
looks scary, man.
yeah, he's chasing you around, man. He's
that
chasing you around everywhere.
that looks scary.
Um,
It also includes
he,
Resident Evil Resistance, which is the multiplayer aspect. So they do add that in,
yeah,
which is 1 to 4 players. I think this one doesn't have anything like that. Part 2, but Part 3 definitely has it. That's something new, right? The original one didn't have a multiplayer
it didn't, but
experience.
they were working on it for a while. They were working on it for a while and
Mm.
trying to find out the best way of implementing it. But I think back then they couldn't. I'm not sure why, but they didn't do it.
Mm. Okay.
Obviously, they had it in the background, so now they released it again. Again, I'm not sure how good it is because I've not played it on Nemesis.
Yeah. So a lot of these games that I got right, the classic PS1 and the PS2 stuff are way more expensive. Like I picked up these remakes, these brilliant, um, awesome like AAA remakes, right? They were like
Yeah.
10 to £15 if you buy them on Amazon, brand new sealed. I just
Mm-hmm.
opened up the shrink wrap just now. Um, £10 to £15 max, right? And then the older
Yeah.
games are like 20, 30, 50 quid, like on the PS2 and stuff like that. And definitely the graphics wise, they're not on that level.
They're
But
not.
that's just retro for you. It's really annoying when that happens, where these old
Yeah,
PS2
it's
games, just
because
because they're Resident Evil, they have to
yeah,
put the price up, and people pay it.
it's a huge game, and down the line, obviously, it's become uh,
As
such a
what,
sort of beloved
cult
game.
following.
Yeah, a lot of people love it. Um, it was the first time a lot of people came into that genre. I think Resident Evil probably created the survival horror genre. To
Mm.
be fair,
Yeah,
I
as
remember playing
in
Resident Evil 1.
they create a new
You
layout.
walk in, and Resident Evil 1, you walk in, and then straight away, it's not spoilers, but straight away you walk in to this room, and then when you see that zombie, it's just like, what the heck? Freaks you out, man.
It's probably like usually that they're eating something in it, and then they turn around and they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Oh shit, new
that's
fresh
it.
meat."
Yeah, yeah,
um,
basically.
I was really looking forward to playing 5 and 6 because of the multiplayer aspect. I want to do them co-op. Um, I really want to
Hmm.
play them co-op because these were the ones where they had the most modern sort of
Yeah,
design element, and they're just basically, it was like a PS3 and a Xbox 360 game, right? And then
yeah.
they allowed you to have all of the maps basically. So Resident Evil
Mm.
6, you've got every single map that you could think of, all the DLCs here,
Hmm.
which is brilliant. And I don't think they're going to remake these, so that's why I picked these two up, because it's worthwhile playing them as they are, because they're not
Yeah.
old. And it says it
I doubt
includes,
they'll remake them.
so it includes all map and multiplayer DLC, so you got all of that information right there.
Yeah,
Definitely, man. Let me know if you ever want to join me in the campaign for these, because I do want to play them with
yeah,
people that have played them in the past, so that they can sort of show me the ropes on some of these stuff. But these two,
yeah. I haven't played 6. I'll be honest with you, so that could be one we jump on.
yeah. So this one both of them have complete online co-op campaign, whereas our previous ones only have a one player. But some
Mm.
of them we can play using that PS5 feature when I do pick up my PS5, where you could share each other's gameplay and sort of see what they're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah,
And that way, when it's a jump scare on Resident Evil 7, you jump. We both fucking jump. It'll be mad.
yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
this one is Resident Evil 5. So you've got over here.
It is from like Resident Evil 4 onwards. The storyline starts going a bit crazy, but it still it turns to more like an action based sort of game.
Yeah, which
but
is
it's still really
obviously
good.
a style that I do like because obviously I know like the original Resident Evil, the way they had the frozen camera and you sort of walk into a
Yeah,
room and they
yeah,
go to another frozen camera area. That wasn't my cup of tea, but I think Resident Evil 2 remake doesn't have that, right? It's more of a first-person shooter,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
the
a small
remake.
like you can, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's more like these games, which is obviously the style that I'm looking forward to
yeah.
playing. So this one has includes all DLC, 2 extra episodes, 4 additional costumes, all 18 characters, horde mode. So it's got all the
Mm.
DLC all in one. So it's really cool to have those two. What do you think of these two games? You think they're definitely worth playing?
Um, yeah, yeah, no, definitely. If you're getting into it, Resident Evil, like I said, I haven't played six, but for 4, 5 it follows this very same sort of style.
Mm.
You'll enjoy it, especially if you're playing co-op. You're gonna love it.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
like I said, I personally think following the story is quite difficult. It starts overlapping, starts getting complicated, and you're trying to remember,
Mm.
crap, how is this character related to that, and why is that character there, and so many things.
Mm.
Um, but again, you definitely enjoy the game.
And so Resident Evil 4, I haven't picked up yet. This is the one
Mm.
that has a lot of people like saying like this is like one of the best, their favorite Resident Evil
Yeah,
games. It's
yeah,
important to everything like Skyrim. I want to get your take on that because what I'm doing is I'm holding off buying Resident Evil 4 because of all of the information that's been made available about via the leaks as well as Capcom's hack.
yeah.
Um, that Resident Evil 4 is the next remake on their list, not Code Veronica. So I'm looking forward to
Mm.
playing the remake because I think that game is one of those last games that's not like Resident Evil 5 or 6 where they had that first person shooter um,
Yeah.
control sort of done to the sort of modern standards. It's quite clunky, and that's why I don't want to play. I don't want to play those old school clunky PS1 Resident Evil versions of the
Mm.
games because
No,
yeah,
no, no.
it was a little bit newer because it came out with the GameCube and stuff, but it still
Yeah, yeah.
has a bit of issues, right? And that's why I'm fearful of playing it right now. I also would like to have it put to the new graphics and all that stuff so I could enjoy it in the most newest form. I don't want to play it and then have to play the new remake that comes out later on because
Yeah,
again,
yeah, yeah.
I don't tend to play most games multiple times unless it's really good. So
Yeah, I mean, to be fair with you, it's not too clunky. It's not bad. It's just the level of games nowadays. Um, it's so good that yeah, it might feel a bit clunky playing it now. But in fairness, it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all, and it is a new system where you don't have a camera that's stuck to the wall,
it's a like a
and
third person shooter, so the
it's there's still a
character's
third
there.
person too. So yeah, it's still there. Again, graphics aren't going to be the best,
Mhm.
but it's still definitely playable. But yes, the rumors are there, and potentially we could be getting something this year.
It didn't take too long
Um,
for Resident Evil 3 to come out after
two to
Resident Evil
three,
2.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like they just have like they work onto the next one as soon as they finish the other one and then they're going to release them about a year after each one releases. So I'm looking forward to I'm hoping that they've already pretty much completed or started work pretty much 80%, 50%, whatever. So it won't
yeah,
be a very long period. So by the time I catch up playing all the previous ones, I'm going to find the
yeah,
remake
yeah,
available to buy. So that's what I'm thinking
yeah,
of
yeah.
doing.
By then, hopefully, you'll be a lot
Yeah.
closer to a release date for Resident Evil 4. To be fair,
So this one I'm actually really scared to play, but I picked it up again. I'm waiting for the Sony platform of choice
yeah,
because not only of the PS2 games that are exclusive only on the console and nowhere else, but also because of this Resident Evil
yeah,
freaking
the
7 via
VR.
PlayStation VR. I am shook scared to play this. This girl's on the front cover. I hate it, but I'm waiting for the gold
Yeah, yeah,
edition because it has all of the DLC. Again, really good to good option of waiting as well for these games to get a bit old is that they become really cheap. I,
really cheap.
I bought this for like 11 or 12 pounds, brand new,
Yeah, yeah.
sealed. A lot of these games have I bought them for like 10, 11 pounds, and this one comes with all of the DLC as well. Yeah, so this is the gold edition, so it has all of the DLC on there, and it's really cool
Okay.
waiting for it.
Similar to you, I've got the game.
But you're too scared to
I've
play in
no, no, no. I've
VR.
played. Yeah, I am. To be fair, I am. But so I've played about an hour and a half of the game, and it's so freaking scary, right? But I've got the Oculus Quest no, sorry, Oculus Rift 2,
Mm.
or is it Quest? No, Oculus Quest 2, the new one, right? And I'm trying to somehow get it to work in VR because I need to play that game in VR.
Mm.
It's gonna scare the crap out of me, but um,
That's mad.
I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing.
With the PS5, you play it on the VR mode. What you can do is we can share gameplay, and then we can both play it with our own little footage of the your game and my game running at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We could
It's
try
pretty
for a
cool.
little bit, obviously, to see because I need anything to distract me from the VR experience of which this girl in this game is going to try and scare the living daylights out of me. So
Mm.
we can try
It's
it
a
for
very scary
we can
game,
try
man.
it for
It's a
fun,
very scary
and we
game.
both get shook at the same time. But we'll definitely have to do something about gameplay footage and us playing that. I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
want to get something on the channel for that.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, so that's up to 7. Obviously, the
7,
new
yeah.
one's coming out on the PS5 as well. Can't wait to play that. Resident Evil 8 Village. Okay, so Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2
Mm.
box set. I got them both on the PS4 again, all for that update system.
Yeah.
All of the DLC, bonus content is all on there. This one
Was any of them on the
includes,
PSP at one point?
I think, I think
I
Revelations
think
came out
Revelations, yeah.
exclusively on the PSP
Yeah,
initially,
yeah.
or the PSV. I can't remember, but it then
One of
got
those, yeah.
moved over to everything. But
Mm.
what do you think of these games?
Um, I think once, if you're not burnt out from playing all the others,
Mm.
I'd say wait a bit and then play these games. They're not as intense as the mainline games, but if you're still craving some more Resident Evil, yeah, definitely have a go at these guys, those ones. And they're not as long as well and as sort of intense. It's still very good though. More about the lore and the storyline.
Ah, it's a cool disc, man. Look at that eye. That's, fucking-
Yeah, yeah.
that's mad. Okay, so are these quite newish, as in like third person sort of shooter style? Not really old school Resident Evil sort
Well,
of
that's
design.
the thing. I'm not sure. See, I haven't played it on the PlayStation 4 yet, so I'm not sure if they've updated it or not. But
So
it it should still be
Revelations.
the same. It should still be the same as the Vita or the PSP versions.
So Revelations came out on 2012, after Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
And then you got Revelations 2 came out after Resident Evil 6 in 2015. So that puts it in the newer sort of game
Yeah,
style.
it's definitely not the flying the wall style.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
So it's more updated, more newer, and it being on the PS4, it'll be a lot more polished.
brilliant. And then oddball one, Resident Evil: The Mercenaries 3D. So
Yeah, nah.
I haven't got that as well. This one actually has two-player co-op as well. I think you might need to
Okay.
get 2 cartridges to play it. But yeah, I mean it's pretty mad. This one again, it's annoying that I had to jump out of the Sony platform to pick this up, but it's the only way I can get this
Yeah.
because they don't have this anywhere else. It was only on
So
a
what is it?
3D.
Is it like a two-player shooter, 3D
So
shooter?
it's armies of terrifying enemies second from overwhelming you. A desperate fight for survival across 30 missions in single player or co-op mode.
Mm,
It's a bit like
okay.
a horde mode
Yeah,
style
yeah, hold style, yeah, zombies.
shooter. So yeah, um, you will see that the overall idea is that I got them all for Sony platform, which
Yeah,
includes
yeah.
PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4/PS5, and that's the only one that's Nintendo, so it's a bit annoying. I also previously talked about this earlier in the video, but what I've done is that you see these two games,
Yeah.
so they physically came out on the Wii, and
Mm,
PlayStation, they released a Biohazard collection of the Dark Side Chronicles HD
okay.
version physically in Japan, and in the West, in Europe and
Mm,
in North America, they gave only digital versions. So I actually picked it
okay.
up digitally. I think it was about 20 quid, the bundle, about
Okay.
18 pounds, something like that. And
Mm,
I bought it because I don't know when PS3 is going to stop selling these games, right? Because they've pretty much
yeah.
Sony's forgotten about PS3. But I picked it up, the HD version on the PS3, and it gives me these two versions on a modern platform with the graphics. I think it's either 720p or 1080p for the first time.
Okay.
Whereas these
Oh,
ones
you
were,
downloaded it on the PS3.
yeah. So I
Okay.
bought it through the PSN store. They're
Yeah.
not backwards compatible with PS4 or
Yeah.
PS5, but again, it's good to play them on a higher resolution and have them all on the
Yeah.
Sony platform. And I'm happy because I've got the physical one here, so it doesn't really matter because I will, as in like, I don't mind having physical versions of the game and then playing it digitally on a newer version, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
the more superior version.
Yeah.
And
I mean, because you're collecting them all, you want at least a
yeah,
physical copy.
but with the PS3, it allows me to play PS1 and some of these remakes on the PS3, as
Yeah.
well as some PS2 remakes if they do come
Mm.
out. I don't think I bought any of them, but it allows me to do that. And then the PS4 allows me to play a bunch of PS2 games. For example, Code Veronica X. So this one, Resident Evil Code Veronica X,
Yeah.
I bought it physically for really cheap, like £3 on the
Mm.
PS2. It comes with 2 discs.
Yeah.
It's got like a bonus. I think it's a demo of Devil May Cry,
Mm.
so it's quite cool. Um, and people say that this is really a really vital part of the story. It
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
out.
It's a good game as well.
It comes out after Part 3, Code
Yeah.
Veronica. You got Resident
I,
Evil
th- I think it came out
in
on the
2000.
Dreamcast as well.
Yeah. So what I did was that I bought it physically on PS2, but I bought the digital version on the PS4. So a bunch of PS2 titles I've now bought on the PS4 digitally, which allows me to play them
Mm.
on the PS5. So the idea is that
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
it's all on the Sony platform. So even though I've got the physical
Mm.
version here, I don't want to save on the memory card. I'd rather save on the hard
Yeah.
drive and
Yeah.
have it all backed up because I don't want to lose my save files. So it's good to
Mm.
have on the shelf, but I know that I've got this on the PS4/PS5. So looking forward to playing that in its highest resolution, right? Because it's a modern
Yeah.
system. Have you played this game before?
Yeah, I played it on the Dreamcast
What do you think?
back then. Yeah, I really liked it.
You
It was,
still,
it was really good.
you got your save file
Um,
and stuff still?
I don't even know where my Dreamcast is anymore.
This is
to be honest with you.
this is the thing, you see. The
That's the
I,
thing.
this is why. I mean, obviously you played it when it came out, right? But I would say
Mm,
that if you are retro aspectly getting older games, this idea is to think about which platform to pick it up on,
yeah.
and if you can find it digitally or on a newer system, it's probably best to do that sometimes. Like even with my old school Game Boy versions of some of these games, like I see
Yeah.
Gaiden, Resident Evil Gaiden. That one's annoying because
Mm.
that's a Game Boy Color game.
Okay.
Really expensive, like £50 to £100 on eBay. I'm like, that's ridiculous. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna buy like a reproduction box of that, keep it on my shelf. So I got the box of it, but
Have you
again,
got the actual game?
no, I haven't got the game. But the game
Okay.
itself, I think I'm gonna get it on my NES Classic. Just put it on there on my
Mm.
Game Boy emulator that I have on my NES Classic and just play it that
Yeah.
way. There's no way because it's not available on the 3DS. It's not available anywhere else. If it was digitally available, ported, I would have got it. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
emulate it onto my NES Classic, and that way I'll have a way to play it, and I'll have it on my shelf at least to show that I've got the version, so I won't
Mm.
forget about playing it. Um,
Yeah.
but
Agree.
yeah, if you can get the newer version, it's good to do that because save files are really important. Some of these older Game Boy games as well, like the battery saves as well, like things like your Pokemon games, you don't really
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to lose those because say you've completed it like way
Mm.
in the past and then you come back in the future and you're like,
Yeah.
where's my save file? And the
Big died, yeah.
battery died, it's gone. It's annoying, isn't it?
It is.
So let's quickly finish this off. So PS3, I've got Resident Evil, Operation Raccoon City. Again,
No, I've not played that.
came out only on the PS3. Would not
Mm.
even know about it. It's like it's like one of those first-person shooters. So I'm good with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Based in the Resident Evil world, and it's a PS3 game, so it's good to have that physically on that PS3 system. You probably haven't heard of this, but this is called Resident Evil Survivor. This
No,
is
I've seen that a few times. I've seen that. I've seen that around.
this is a
I've never played it.
This is a clean copy. It's like a
When we
it's-
went to when you know the retro gaming market? I've seen that a few times over there.
It's like a
Was it a shooter?
it's like a
As
time
in-
it's like a time crisis.
Yeah, Time Crisis with a gun.
Yeah. So it's got the gun there.
Yeah.
And
And did
like
that come with a specific gun? um, to obviously so that you shoot the screen. But it was like a smallish
It works. It
handgun,
says it works with the G-Con or
G
whatever,
gun.
the one that
Yeah,
they released
45.
for the the Namco released it. Is it Namco?
Yeah, yeah, Namco G
Um,
gun 45 or something like that.
the guys that made Time Crisis, so it works with
Yeah.
that. Um, but I haven't. Here it is. Synchronized light gun controller compatible. Okay, so it's a one-player game. Again, I will be playing this on the PS3 because I've got a bunch
Yeah.
of games that would work on the PS3 that are exclusive to that Sony platform.
Mm,
Saves my backup and everything. All of my save files will be digital on the PS3 because it creates it digitally rather than putting in memory
yeah.
cards. So my save file will be safe. But that one is annoying, man. It cost me like 30 quid.
Shit.
And it's like, it's annoying. It's the PS1. It's the most primitive of all of them. And it costs way more than
Mm,
his remakes. Crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, so did you know about that?
No, no, I
So,
did not know
so
about that.
Resident Evil 2. So Resident Evil 2 Code Veronica. It's called Resident Evil Survivor 2 Code Veronica. So they took the Code Veronica and they made a part 2 exclusively on the
Yeah.
PS2. It's a light gun shooter, single player,
Okay, okay,
and
yeah.
it's like primitive graphics. But that game is so damn expensive, and I found one for like 30 quid, but it had a label on it, the ones that you can't take off
Mm,
the disc, so I
you
didn't
can't
bother
take off,
buying it.
yeah.
So I haven't picked that one up yet, but that's one that I want to get as well. Um,
It probably didn't sell like a ton load.
again, yeah.
That's probably why it's so
But
expensive.
being a PS2 game, it's a bit annoying. It didn't get ported anywhere, so I'm stuck with the PS2. But
Mm,
it's fine. These two, you probably know about them. Resident Evil Outbreak, and
yeah.
Resident Evil Outbreak File 2.
Mm,
By
yeah.
the way, some of these covers, right? They're not as good as the US ones. I actually bought like some of the
The
US.
power ones.
These PAL covers are not as good as some
Yeah.
of the American covers. So I actually bought a bunch of replacement covers from eBay, right? Like £2-3, and I'm
Mm,
gonna get those covers put in here and as a separate cover because some of these are not as good. Especially this one here, Resident Evil Dead Aim. This one is such a dead cover, right?
what
But
the hell?
we've got such a good cover for the American one, which I'll show over here. But I'll print that one off as well, so I'm gonna use that cover on a separate game.
Yeah, yeah.
You know the original Resident Evil Origins collection.
Yeah.
Again, the American version of that cover is way
So much
better.
better.
It's got like the split of the two versions of the games.
Uh,
So I think I think I ordered that cover as well as a replacement cover.
mm.
I'm gonna use that. But anyway, what do you think of these two games? Are these survival horror games, like shooters?
Do you know what? There's some like spin-offs and whatnot. I'm not 100% sure. I think these are like horde style games.
I don't see any gun support. I thought these were
They're not light gun, I don't think. Let me have a look. Resident Evil Survivor.
compatible with 1 to 4 players. I think
It is
these.
light gun. Yeah, there is light gun.
That's mad.
Resident Evil Survivor.
So looking forward to playing those as well. These are the ones that are stuck on the PS2. There hasn't been a remake, so I'm gonna be playing them on the
Yeah,
PS2. But it's
I
fine.
mean,
There are a bunch of the Resident Evil games are stuck on the PS2. The PS1 and the PS3 games I can use the PS3, and I can use the PS5 in the future to play all of these other games. And only the Resident Evil 2 games that are exclusive on that, I will need to bring out my PS2 Slim.
yeah,
But
yeah. I mean,
I've got the
it's
HDMI
basically
adapter, so it's the best way I can play it, I
it's
guess.
yeah. You're not really gonna get remakes of light gun
And the thing
games
is,
because light guns don't exist no more.
yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting if they did do like something like this, where they made it available on the Wii or like Motion Plus for the
Yeah.
PS4 using the PS3 Motion Plus, and they can do like a
Mm.
modern remake of it using those. I mean, it's annoying that they don't do more light gun sort of variations for the 21st century.
It could be the technology because I know on CRT TVs you're able to do it, but on these new
Yeah,
LED
but
and
you know how they did
OLED
it.
and stuff,
You know how they did it with the Motion Plus.
yeah, you could do it with the Motion Plus. Yeah, yeah,
You know the two motion sticks for the
yeah, yeah,
PS3,
yeah. Yeah.
as well as obviously the Wii has and the Joy-Cons have motion. They
Oh,
could
and
do
imagine,
something like that and make a remake a shooter in that style, but
yeah,
they don't tend to do it.
imagine if they had the dual sense sort of technology in the guns as well. That'd be so
Yeah,
sick.
like like for the PSVR, I've got the actual aim controller, so they can use
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's all there. All they need to do is just tap into that and use it. but they need to make it work with the controller too, so it doesn't segment the user
Segment.
base,
Yeah.
segment them, yeah, so separate them. So those two are there. These all came out after Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil Survivor, Code Veronica 2, Gaiden. Okay, after Resident
Yeah.
Evil Remake and Resident Evil Zero, you got Dead Aim, Outbreak, and Outbreak
Yeah.
File 2 in 2003 and 2004.
Mm.
So yeah,
I
those
think obviously
games.
the franchise was so huge back then. They were just trying to capitalize and
Yeah.
enter different genres and just trying to get loads of different games out there.
So also on your list, right, you've got so the Umbrella Chronicles HD version is there. That's 2000. That's
Mm.
there. But if you look at Resident Evil, so it's just called Umbrella Corps.
Umbrella Corps, yeah, I think, well, that is 2016.
That one. So
Yeah.
that game, I picked it up. It recently went down as low as £3. So
Hmm.
so I was gonna say buy that, man. It got really poor reviews. It's got like 3.4 on IGN review.
Tactical shooter.
But it's not a tactical shooter. From what I saw, it's actually a first-person shooter.
Okay.
Um, and it's a spin-off of the Resident Evil series. So it's based in
Mm-hmm.
the universe of Umbrella Corp. So all the Resident Evil
Uh,
2 scenarios, the stations
mm,
and all of that, the levels are there, so you'd recognize them. So I want to play this after I've done the others, but it's annoying that
yeah.
this wasn't physical, so I bought a digital, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to download the cover and print it off for the PS4 cover, because this got official release in Asia. So
Okay.
they got the Asia release in physical, but everywhere else is digital in the Western market. So I've got that game too.
Mm.
From the list, I think that covered everything.
A lot of games, man. That's a lot of games, but I
But it's
think you'll really
crazy
enjoy.
how many are mainline, 8, and then you've also got how many
Yeah.
spin-offs as well, which is almost the same
Probably
amount.
just as
Yeah,
many.
but a lot of these are just first-person shooters. I'm not first-person shooters. A lot of them are just what do you call those?
Which ones?
What do you call the guns? They're called light gun games, isn't it?
Light gun games,
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot of them are light gun games, so at least they're easier to
Mm.
complete. But yeah, man, any sort of tips you can give me on the best way to play all of these games, which order?
Yeah. But no, play
Um,
the mainline ones.
Play
Like I
my
said, Resident Evil 1, Director's Cut, whatever, and then play 0, 2, 3, because obviously it then
so play
follows the
one,
storyline.
play 0, and then go to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that's probably the best way.
And what we'll do,
Enjoy it. Don't get too sort of burnt out by playing like so much Resident Evil.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I'll space it
but yeah,
out
take your
between other
time.
games, innit? I'll space it out between other games. And what I'll do, right, with the light gun shooter games, if they work with a controller, what I'll do,
Mm,
we'll play them together because they're like one-player games, innit? So once lockdowns and everything's
yeah,
finished, we'll just do like we'll just try and complete them together because I
yeah, yeah.
don't
That's
necessarily
fun.
need to play them all by myself. Like if I'm as long as I'm watching the
Yeah.
storyline, I don't mind someone else taking over with the pad and controlling it and
Mm,
playing it. And I think even with the PS5, a lot of these games, right, you have the feature of someone remote jumping on and taking over the control of the player one. So
yeah.
it's like if I'm like, okay, do this mission for me, you can just jump on and do it, and I'll be watching. But at least I won't miss out on the game because I'm still watching it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff we can do like that. So it'll be interesting. But anyway,
Yeah,
man,
no, definitely.
thanks a lot for coming on.
No
And
worries, mate.
I will obviously got a lot to catch up on in there. But hopefully
Yeah, yeah.
you found a few games that maybe interest you from this list of pickups.
Yeah, I might pick up a few of those ones.
Mm.
Have not played them. I haven't played 6 yet, so I'll probably. I mean, to be honest, at one point I completely forgot about Resident Evil. Obviously played the remakes really good, but yeah, 6. Yeah, I'll probably pick that up again. And obviously looking forward to Village.
Mm.
That's going to be pretty sick.
Definitely get 5 and 6, so that we can play that online. I don't mind jumping into that um, earlier on than getting up there because it's they work on their own, right? So it's not like I need to have
Yeah,
too
yeah.
much history of the knowledge, but I will start with the earlier ones as well.
Yeah. That
Right,
sounds
man.
good.
Appreciate that, and I'll let you get back to your evening, whatever's left of it, and
Yeah.
I'll speak to
Gotta play some Call of Duty, mate.
you in your Warzone, yeah. But I'll catch up
Yeah.
with you soon, man. It's been good chatting with
All
you.
right.
Appreciate
Nice
it.
one.
All right, cheers.
It's all good.
In a bit. Alright guys, so that was episode 28 of the game pickups video. Appreciate Shah coming on for the Resident Evil portion of this. I think I might split it into two videos for the first bit that I did for the pickups. So episode 28 of my gaming pickups video episode will be split into two parts, I believe. You will have the first half and then you'll have the second half, which is the Resident Evil portion, where I talked about all of my Resident Evil pickups, as well as Shah's input as well on all of that, because he's a veteran on the Resident Evil franchise, so appreciate his input. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching this episode. And that was all of my February pickups for the month of 2021 in February. It's been difficult. I've been doing a lot of pickups over eBay because of the scenario that we're in. It's not the worst thing in the world, not being able to go outside, but definitely it's cool to have games to play during this time where everyone's in lockdown and everyone's stuck at home. And hopefully this COVID thing blows over and the vaccines are coming out and we're getting a better position. Alright guys, until next time, take care guys, this is Mac. Peace out.